Well, hey guys, welcome back to Stinson Farms. Hey, it's been a while, probably a month since I made a video, but it's just been a really busy January. I know it's into February. Today's February, I think the 9th, 8th or 9th. But of course, if as many of you know, if you follow the channel, lost my mom back the 1st of January, and we was with her, you know, there during Christmas and everything during that time. And after that, we started an outage at work, and I've been working 6-7 days a week, 12-14 hours a day. So that's been keeping me pretty busy. But I did want to touch base with everybody, let everybody know a little bit about what's coming up in 24. And there's going to be some changes to the farm. You know, we're going to make some changes, and part of it's out of necessity, part of it's out of it's because it's what we want to do. But you got to change sometimes, and with the price of grain and everything right now, we've got to try to line ourselves up to where we can be more profitable on what we do, and we got to watch that as well as we can. And there'll be some changes on that behalf of how we're going to do things this coming year. And I'm not going to let everything out of the bag, but you'll see it as it comes down the line. But there is some subtle changes, and there's going to be some big changes before the year's over with. But right now, it's February. Like I said, 1st February, we're getting ready we're making plans and getting ready for the spring planting. And I've got everything pretty well lined out on that. And we'll be getting into that as soon as we can. A couple months away at the very earliest yet, but well, probably 3. But we're ready to go anyway when that gets here. So one of the changes, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop a clip in the video here right now, and you'll see it. But this clip was actually the beginning of a video that I didn't get done, but I'm gonna drop it in right now. This was back in early January, and you'll see that and what's going on there. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, today is January the 13th. We are on a road trip this morning. I know we've been a little quiet here as of late on what's going on, but we've got some new things coming for 24. We're doing some changing. We're making some adjustments to our overall farm plan, and trying to advance and move forward a little bit. So this morning, I don't know if you recognize it or not, but I'm in a truck that you haven't seen me in before, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute or a little later. But right now we're going to look at something else, and we're probably another 30 minutes out, and we'll bring you up to date after that. But right now we're on I-64 east, heading out of Lexington, going into the eastern part of Kentucky. We've been on the road for 2 or 3 hours this morning, and hopefully everything goes well. We make it back home later. But we'll bring you up to date in a little. I just wanted to let you know that we got some new things coming up, and we'll be doing some things a little different this year. We're like I said, we're doing a little bit of adjustment to our farm plan. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll bring you all along with that. But we'll go head on down the road, and we'll see you here in just a minute. All right, we made it back home. I didn't really do sons of mine. Didn't do any more filming while we was on the road, but just a little quick video on what we've got going on here. This is one thing that we have decided to do, making a change. I mentioned this while we were hauling corn this past fall, and I had bought me a truck, and we went today and picked up an old hopper bottom. This old hopper bottom needs a little work on it, but it is going from here. It will go to a buddy of mine who's got a sheet metal shop, and we're gonna get this thing fixed up and ready to go. It's a 2008 Jet, but it's got some rust on it, but it is solid where it needs to be solid. But we're going to fix it up and get it right and make it look like it should. It's 34 foot. And here we've got a 95 Ford L9000. Got the N14 Cummins in it. Now we just made a 400 some mile round trip to get this trailer, and the old truck done good, and I really enjoyed driving it. All right, so you see, we was talking about in the fall when we was hauling grain that we may have to go to a bigger truck, and that's what we've done. So I've gotten another truck. We bought a L9000 Ford semi. It's a tandem truck, and it's a really nice truck. It's a 95 model, and for its age and everything, it's really nice, and I'm really excited about that. We got us a hopper bottom that we're going to be pulling with that. And with that being said, old Blue here, I haven't made up my mind whether we're going to keep this truck as a spare or whether I'm going to sell it. It's a good old truck, and I really enjoy it. I really like it, but at the same time, it has really it's really limited. Well, it just can't keep the grain away quick enough. And if you've been following the channel, you know Mr. Earl, he hauls for me, but this past season he just couldn't get to me. He was just tied up, and it kind of put us in a bind trying to get the grain to the elevator. So we're going with a bigger truck, and I could keep this truck and run both of them, but I don't have two drivers, very rarely ever. So it's either me or one of my son-in-laws driving the truck while the other one's running the combine. So, or it's just me running the combine and then the truck. So I don't have two drivers, and I don't have enough to go out and hire a driver. So I'm leaning towards selling this thing, but it's a good old truck, and I hate to see it go, but like I said, we got to do things based on profitability, and I bought the other truck, and this one probably needs to go. Another thing that's going to be changing this year that's pretty big is we have increased our acres again. We've got same farm, the farm that I have rented from Mr. Joe. He's sold off some more of his cows, and we got more land on it, so we're going to be adding another 45 acres to what we had. So we'll be running around 150 acres this year. And the way it looks on his other farm, he's kind of semi-retiring but slowly, and he's probably going to sell off his other cattle. So next year we may get that farm, and that'll increase our acres even more, and we'll be up around 200 acres at that time. And I think with my equipment, that's enough. That's pretty much what I'll be able to do. But it is going to help us take care of a little bit of overhead, having those extra acres. So there's one more thing that's pretty big that we're changing, and I'll tell you about that right now. So with the increase in the grain acres and what we're doing on that side of it, I have decided, because it really pushes me thin, working and trying to do all these other things, thin for time. We're going to get out of the hay business, and out of the hay business as far as baling and selling hay. I have sold my 328 square baler. It'll be going. I've also sold my Moco, and it'll be leaving the farm here, well, any day now. But we may still do some hay, but it'll be just for our livestock and for ourselves. And I may get a little small roller, or just have my cousin roll it for me, what few rolls that we'd have and need. I'm going to take as much of my hay ground as I possibly can and convert that into grain. So we'll be utilizing even more of that for our grain operation. And with me doing things primarily just me and my wife, then it's easier to concentrate on one thing than two or three. So we'll be working on that as well. We've got some other things coming up. Like I said, we're going to do some things differently. I'm going to probably do a little more no-tilling this year than what did last year was my first experience with no-till. It turned out really well. I was really pleased with that. We'll probably do a little bit more of that. I'm going to be doing more of the spraying myself than what I have in the past. And we're going to look at some fungicide applications and so forth, you know, different things. I got my beans seed treated, and we're going to try to do some things that ain't real expensive to try to give us a little bit of advantage on bumping our yield a little bit, especially with this lower cost in grain. But we'll be doing things a little differently, and I'll be relying more on doing it myself than hiring it done. But I'm looking forward to that too, because I enjoy doing it. But we'll see how it goes, and hopefully this will be a good year, and hopefully grain prices will come back up. But the outlook for 24 is not real promising on anything coming up on any of the reports that I'm seeing. So it looks like we're going to be down at least for this year, and they continue to fall off a few cents every week. So and we still got all of ours stored from last year. I hadn't sold anything yet, so I don't know. I probably messed up by not selling it, but I'm gonna hold on a little longer and see if it come up a little bit. If it can get up a little bit, then we'll have to make a move. I'm gonna have to make that move eventually anyway. But right now we're just holding on to it and hoping we can get a bump in the price a little bit. But there's some other things coming up later in the year that's a big deal to me, and I want to share that with y'all. But I'm going to save that for later on. I'm not going to divulge all that right now, but it's a big deal with me, and I'm really looking forward to that. But right now, we're going to concentrate more on our grain acres. Like I said, we sold our baler, and that was a tough decision because I love this baler. It's awesome, but I've got to make room for other things. So if I wasn't going to use it for what I bought it for and intended for, then it needed to go. And all the hay that we have done, that we have baled to sell, we've sold. We hadn't had any problem with that. But it takes a lot of time. It takes time to invest in that. It takes time. I need to be here and be around when customers are coming, and with my job and the way I work, that's just really hard to do. And I can do the grain more on my time and not so much on someone else's time. So it's not as much getting the hay put up and in the barn. I can work around that on my time, but it is the sales of it. When people's coming, we've had people come from as far as 4 or 5 hours away, and a lot of times they're limited on when they can come, and I've kind of got to be here when they get here, and it's tough to do sometimes. I've had to take time off work and everything just to meet them. So we're just going to go a different route with things and free up a little bit of space and a little bit of overhead, and concentrate more on our grain than our hay. But guys, I hope you hang around. We'll have some videos coming out soon. I'm about to get started back at things and making videos especially. But like I said, I just kind of took a break this month after dealing with the loss of my mom and all that we had to go through on that. And I know everybody out there understands that type of a situation. And then been working and still got 5 more weeks of this outage that we're on yet to go, that we're working 6 and 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. So I'm gonna have to get past that before I have much time to do anything. But it will pass, and we'll get back online and get everything lined out. The good thing is we're looking forward to the year. I've got good plans. I've got a good outlook for it. I think we're going to do well, and hopefully with some of the changes we're making, we can maybe bump our yield just a little bit to offset some of the prices. I'm going to do everything I can to do that without spending the money where it's going to put me in the negative. I do believe that you can sink enough money in it trying to bump your yield sometimes that you're going to go negative, because it's just going to do what it's going to do to a point, and there's not a lot we can do about it. But if we can get 5 or 10 bushel to the acre by doing some small things, then that'll be a win, and I'll really appreciate that. especially on our beans. And if we can get them up some with the outlook on beans this year, I know they're down from what they were, but they're predicting them to hold a little bit better than corn prices. So, and be a little more profitable for this year is the reports that I'm seeing. And all that, depends greatly on the inputs. I hadn't bought any fertilizer yet, but my supplier's telling me that it looks like it's going to be down somewhat from last year, a little anyway, so that's going to help. But seed hasn't really went down. It's pretty expensive, but we're uh, we're hoping for the best, and hopefully we can make some good videos this coming year. And I'm going to try to do things a little different all the way around, not just with my farming, but with my videos. And hopefully we can get something good and entertaining out there. We can do well on the farm, but we can get y'all something good to watch as well. But guys, this is just a quick update on what's going on and what I've been doing and where we're going this year. And I hope you hang around. I appreciate your support. And as always, we'll see you next time.